real. Okay, this is Dungeon World session, Dungeon World Songs of the Golden Onion, session 3, part of Gauntlet Hangouts. We don't have Noella today, but we do have JD back. And so we have already given JD the crash course in what happened in session 2, and we are going to pick up now. What we have to figure out is accounting for Branka's absence, right? So everybody did kind of like split up and go do their own thing at the normal Golden Onion, the simple Golden Onion in the real world. And they did all eventually meet back up after they got their hands on this silver narcotic. And that was that. I think what might be nice for your character to have been doing, JD, is if Branka was perhaps like engaging in that cleansing process that the paladins do in order to pick a new quest, right? So maybe that's something you were doing. I also think it would be interesting if you did eventually take the narcotic yourself, because you would have just found it, because you would have just gone into the rooms that you all were in, and they're just there, like passed out. They might have even left you a note or something. Who knows?
And you're like, guys, come on! You couldn't even wait for me to get high.
Right, exactly. So if you think that Branka would have taken the narcotic, and I think you should, because otherwise you're not going to be with the rest of the group, you can have done that, and I'll have you make the custom move roll for the narcotic. But what do you think, JD?
Yeah, that sounds good. It makes sense that I would kind of go off and ritually take care of all of my practices that I need to take care of, and then would return to the group. And Branka's definitely not one to shy away from substances, despite her paladin nature. So
yeah, no. So what is your quest right now then?
That's a good question. I want it to be something like actionable and specific. And if we didn't know, we didn't really have a distinctive purpose for coming to the Golden Onion originally, did we?
Some people did, but you didn't. Yours was more like you wanted to go into that like alleged northeastern hallway where when it rains, you have access to different parts of it. Right. So if there was like something specific about that, then I suppose you could. Or if you want to just make something up, I'm totally down with that too, because I can roll with it. But in any case, I think you should probably have some kind of, or at least start to figure out some kind of quest. So yeah. As far as the narcotic goes,
seek some sort of ancient relic or some sort of ancient natural object, I guess, that would maybe be in there.
Well, so remind me what your order's like purpose or philosophy is.
So the idea is that we're like a group of mountain worshipers, and then my specific like heretical sect of it was that the mountains are always like moving and changing, and like the reason this is heretical is because we believe that our god will eventually erode and die, since it's like the specific mountain itself. So like we're trying to prove that this is the case, and that the gods are fluid and not static.
Interesting. So perhaps finding some kind of evidence of that would be.
Yeah. I think that's why that room was like interesting to me, is because it implies that like things build up over time, which would be new. Like gods are born over time.
Interesting. Okay, so let me think on that for a minute. We have kind of a fight to get through, so we'll have time to kind of think about it. But cool. Okay, but in any case, if you want to just make that like, I think a quest of like, we can narrow it down later, but just I think the quest of like getting evidence of this of this like theory or whatever might be kind of a good one. So, all right, cool. So the Silver Lotus powder narcotic, there's a custom move here. When you smoke the Silver Lotus narcotic, you roll plus con. On a 10+, you slip into the astral plane without trouble and can return to the material plane whenever you wish. On a 7 to 9, you slip to the astral plane, but returning to the material plane is violent and difficult. You take some damage when you go back. On a miss, as a 7 to 9 above, and you gain the attention of an astral hunter. So, go ahead and give me that con roll, please.
That is going to be a 14, actually.
Nice, good. I'm going to say that you also had some time to do your own private exploration of the Golden Onion as well, the astral plane version. And I'm going to give you 2 hold, and you can spend that hold as you wish to ask a question about the inn or something you might have heard or seen. So, but conveniently, helpfully, you find the chambers of Vigreet, the bug collector. And so we have this. I think we're gonna have you arrive on scene maybe a little bit afterwards, Bronca. But initially, though, we have this big spider, folks, on the ceiling, and the moment you lay eyes on the spider, you suddenly realize that the ceiling is much, much higher than you thought. And in fact, the spider is just hanging off a mass of cobwebs a little bit above you. But there's a whole network of webs that stretches up tens of feet, maybe even like 100 feet high above you. And also, when you first see the spider, you also are immediately aware of the room being much bigger than you remember. It's a bigger space. It's a wider space. You still see the door, but it seems to stretch in all directions, maybe 50, 60, 70 paces in every direction, okay? And the spider is fat and black and glistening, and it has rows of amber-colored eyes. And as it opens its mandibles, Lomond, a bit of spittle dribbles out and splatters on your nose and mouth as you look up. And that is what's going on. Achaeus, did you end up going underneath Vigreet's pantomime there?
I think I wanted to get a look at what that was controlling the arms. Yes.
Yeah, as best you can tell, it's just a man. It's a man underneath there, crouched underneath, and he's got like 2 sticks connected to the arms, and he has a very limited range of movement, so he just goes up and down the whole time.
So he's human.
It's human. It's maybe elf, but definitely humanoid. Yeah, for sure. So, I'm going to go around the table and just ask everyone what they do, and minus Bronca, and then we'll figure out how moves are going to fire off. So, Lomond, what do you do?
I get my sleeve and wipe the spider spittle off my face and and slowly edge back into the shadows where I belong.
Give me a defy danger dexterity to see if you can sneak away without the spider knowing where you go. Bowen, what do you do?
Bowen is going to cast invisibility on himself.
I like that. Go ahead and roll it. It's fine. And Achaeus, what do you do?
Well, I think there's a big spider up there, so I'll just kind of ready my spear, so when it drops down, it might drop into the spear, but also I'm going to look around what's going on, really. Is that spider really even going to attack us?
If you want to, I'll let you choose. I mean, if you want to try to take a moment to evaluate the situation, I'll give you a DR. But if you want to stand in defense of the situation, I'll give you a defend. All the choice be yours for now.
I think I wanted this DR because I don't really know if it's going to attack us. So
fair enough.
Maybe.
Go ahead and roll that.
Cool.
Lomond, how'd you do?
Not great. With the dex modifier, I've got 5.
Okay, good.
Oh, hang on. Let me. Sorry, maybe 6. That doesn't matter though, does it?
Doesn't matter. No.
Does
Oh.
not matter.
Go ahead and mark an XP. As you are sneaking away, trying to sneak away into the inky blackness, and it is quite dark. There's just the basically there was just the light coming from the candles in Vigrit's eye sockets that are sort of providing some ambient light. Although, yeah, so you can sense that the room has gotten bigger. In any case, as you are sneaking off, the spider like kind of shifts its body like briefly, and there's just a fast thwip of cobweb that smacks against you at a very high velocity and just
Ooh, ouch.
just pow, like pins you to the wall. You are pinned, Lomond, or to the floor, really. So you're kind of like caught in this web on the floor. Bowen, how did your spell go?
I got a 10.
Nice. Read the spell to us just so we know how it functions.
Yeah, so invisibility. I've got my piece of paper here because I printed off my spell list. Touch an ally. Nobody can see them. They're invisible. The spell persists until the target attacks or until you dismiss the effect. While the spell is ongoing, you can't cast a spell.
Yeah, and indeed, you count as your own ally. So if you want to like make yourself invisible, you can.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Okay, cool. So you just blink away, Hobbit styles. That's good. Okay. And how did DR go? Okay.
It went not that well. It's pretty dark. I got a 3.
3. Okay, so the spider is doing its thing. So it sent cobwebs, smacked on, and kind of got Lomond kind of stuck to the ground. Lomond, you're going to have to take a minute to cut yourself free from that. And Achaeus, the spider then just like sort of, I think the spider just like drops down, like it just drops down in front of Vigrit, and with a huge sweeping motion of its razor forelimb, knocks Vigrit and Puppeteer and you, just slashes right through all 3 of you and sends you all flying. You take a D8 plus 4.
Oh, wow. That sounds painful. Let's see. Yeah, I've got 8. I roll for 8 damage, but I've got armor, I think. Somewhere. 2 armor. So I've got take 6 points of damage.
Plus 4. Or unless you rolled.
No.
That's 8 total. Okay.
I rolled a 4, so.
Oh, got it.
Huh. Okay, 8. What did I say? 6, right?
Yeah, 6. So,
A lot.
Branka, at this point, that's when you kind of arrive on the scene. You see Lomond stuck on the ground, face forward in these webs. You don't know where Bowen is, and you just saw Achaeus get sideswiped by the razor forelimb of this big fucking spider. What do you do?
This is not what I expected to come into, so I think I'm gonna like quickly like bring my shield around and draw my sword. Try to like analyze the situation. I want to know, what is this spider going for? Why is it attacking? I might even shout over. I guess I can't see Achaeus either because Achaeus is still under the cloak. Is that right?
Well, no, because you just saw the spider like kind of like whack Achaeus and the sort of puppet Vigrit, like, and you saw them kind of go flying. So you know well enough to know that, yeah.
Right. So Achaeus is taken out. Bowen is nowhere to be seen, and Lomond is stuck. So I'm gonna run over to Lomond, I think, and just cut Lomond free. Like, Lomond, what's happening? What's going on?
Give you the fighting your dexterity to cut Lomond free quickly.
We didn't expect a giant spider to be in this room, just saying.
This is not good. I got a 3.
3. You begin cutting Lomond open. First of all, as you enter the room, you're immediately aware of the crunch, crunch, crunch of a carpet of bugs beneath your feet. beetles, millipedes, centipedes, that kind of thing. You go to try to cut Lomond free, and as you do so, a swarm of the bugs rises up, kind of like the zombies in World War Z rising up against the walls. It's like the bugs are swarming up, and they're just covering both of you. They're just covering both of you and biting and biting and getting through all your clothes and injecting their venoms for the venomous ones. In total, you both take I think you both take a D8 damage. And mark an XP if you did not. Lots of XP this session. Lomond, do you have any thoughts about how to get yourself free from this mess?
Well, firstly, don't ask Branka for help. But I have my throwing daggers, and I also have a couple of handy files of different solutions. So I would imagine that my throwing daggers are in my sleeve. That makes sense to me. And I probably have files on a belt.
I'm into that.
Like not on a sleeve, like up in the sleeve. Like that. Yeah. So maybe the daggers would be easier for me to like try and like spring
load into your hand or whatever, or that kind of thing. Yeah, I'm into it. Or flick them into your hand. Yeah, I'm down with that. So then what?
So like slowly cut myself out, and maybe I'm gonna leave, like cut the web, but leave the web covering on me, and like slide along the ground like I'm still pinned, and make my way to a hidey hole.
That's going to be very challenging because of the bugs swarming as well. But nevertheless, give me a strength, defy danger strength.
Oh, strength. What have I got? -1 strength. So let's give it a crack. Stranger things have happened. 6, 5. No.
The dice are very, very cruel today. Yeah. So basically what happens, Branka, you see it. You see Lomond going for the knife, trying to cut himself free. The bugs are just crawling up all over. It's just like you just see glimpses of Lomond trying to like sever these webs, and the bugs just swarm Lomond completely until Lomond just disappears beneath this carpet of bugs. We shall revisit this at some point soon. Bowen, you haven't. What I'm going to do, Bowen, then I'll go over to KS. Bowen, what do you do?
Well, so I'm invisible, and I don't become visible again until I attack something or until I end it.
Yes. Do you just leave?
I was gonna say, like, can I just go over and like knock the bugs off of her?
Or try to unbury Lomond off him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into that. If you want to, you can be heading over there. I think it's going to take a second, but we'll cut over to Achaeus in the meantime. Achaeus, what do you do? You are fully in combat with the spider, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. Then I will try to make some kind of slash with my spear just to get just to get a free exit route for myself, because fighting the spider, I mean, I noticed that Branka is here now, but still it's pretty big and I'm not that invested into this whole golden scarab thing. So
yeah, fair enough. Luckily your spear has reach, because you'd have to kind of get past the razor forelimbs to attack the spider. But since you have reach, you're able to do that. Give me a hack and slash.
Okay. Oh, let's see if this works. Yes, it does. It totally does. I've got a 14.
Nice. You will do your damage. Do you want to take a move or a hit from the spider as well to do an extra d6?
Sure, I still got hit points. So I'll take my own D6. Do I subtract armor?
Yeah, you subtract armor, and the spider does a D8 plus 4.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I have to roll that. Okay, so that's the same. That's 6. And what do I roll for damage?
Your damage die plus a D6.
Okay, signature weapon. Yeah. What does it have for damage time? Sorry.
Oh, fighters always do a D12 or 10.
D10. D10. Okay, I do D10. Okay, D10. That has +1 damage because it has serrated edges. And then I take another D6. Right.
Yep.
Okay.
D10 plus 1 plus
D10. I always manage to confuse that. Sorry, I rolled a D12. I meant to roll a D10. Yeah, that's an 8, 9, and the D6, that's a 5. So I've got 13.
That's a really good hit. So the spider has 3 armor, so it does 10 points total. But you very nearly killed it. It's not quite dead, but you've definitely injured it pretty severely. What does that look like?
Well, as I said, I really just thought I wanted to get out of the room. What I did was I kind of knocked the foreleg aside, and one of them got me. But my fighter instincts kind of took over, and I rammed the spear beneath the mandibles. And it got a bit stuck. I had to drag it out, and that was easier than I expected. The cutting wasn't that hard, so I'm still running though.
You're still leaving.
For the moment, I'm still running. I have realized that it's pretty badly hurt, but let's take a bit of a distance between me and this thing.
I'll let you run. Bronca. I'm going to cut to Bronca for a minute. I'm going to assume that Bowen is just digging out Lomon. That's going to take a sec. Bronca, you kind of see all that out of your peripheral vision. You see Achaeus stab the spider, and then Achaeus is running towards the exit. You'll notice that the spider does not give chase to Achaeus. Instead, the spider is going after the person who is underneath Vigrit's robes operating the lich. And that person, it's a man. He's like pleading for his life with the spider. He's like, please, please, please. I didn't think anybody was going to disturb you. I didn't think it was going to go like this. And he's like begging for his life. And the spider is like just moving in, clearly going to take him. What do you do?
I'm just going to go ahead and hit my alignment and endanger myself to protect someone weaker than me. I have no idea who this person is. I have no clue.
Do you want to roll defend?
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna like run it because I mean, first of all, I have to like, it's confusing because I'm just seeing like invisible hands clear Lomond off, which is weird. I don't know what that's about.
Right, yeah, you see bugs flying, yeah, like bugs are flying up, and you hear Bowen, right? And you, yeah, and of course there's all the bugs beneath your feet, which is really strange and gross. They're still crawling on your body, and yeah, give me a defend roll.
Cool. That is a 7.
Nice. You get how many hold on that? Just 1 or 2?
Just 1.
The spider's going in to sink its mandibles into the person. Do you take that hit instead?
Yeah, I guess I do. Yeah, I'm gonna run in and make a show of myself, I guess, and get in front of him.
Yeah, it's a D8 plus 4. Oh, you're muted. You're muted. We can't hear you.
Yeah, so I took 12.
Oh.
Which is no, 10 damage. Sorry.
But, still a good hit. Describe what it looks like when you save the guy's life.
So I run in and I think I like put my shield down in front of him, And so the spider, you know, it's like going for him, and instead like turns its aggression towards me and just like sinks its teeth just deep in, I think like right into my like pectoral muscle, like right below my shoulder, like right on my shield arm. It's nasty. It's gross.
Yeah. Achaeus, I'm still making Bowen and Lomond dig bugs. Achaeus, you will see Bronca rush into the fight, the opposite direction that you were going in.
Oh, nice. Okay, so I've got to help Bronca, of course. I mean,
so what do you do?
Yeah, I kind of, there's the spider. The spear was effective one time, so let's see if it's the second time. Let's pin the spider.
All right, go for it.
Yeah.
The spider's focused on Bronca, so I'll just give you a free hit. Finish roll your damage.
I'll just roll my damage, right?
Yeah.
I got that. Okay, cool. So I'll roll this one. And it rolls a 9. It's a 10.
You take it out. Describe it.
Okay. So, yeah, that's exactly Bronca, right. Achaeus will run up to the spider. Then she will maybe climb onto its back for a little bit, and then just with both hands push the spear down through its the area where the neck is. Just push it down, and then she will say, "Hi, Bronca, I've missed you."
Indeed. Okay, so Lomond and Bowen, the situation's calm. It's under control. Everybody's free of whatever hindrances they had. There's a big giant spider carcass in the room. The room is suddenly smaller now, and so now there's hardly any room to move around now because this spider is huge, right? And so you're kind of like talking around its massive carapace, right? And you see the man who was operating the Vigreet puppet, you see him scrambling back under the robes and quickly adjusting the skeleton head and kind of, but it's a little like lopsided because he's in a hurry, right? So it doesn't quite look right. One of the candles falls out, and he immediately begins like operating the arms, but he's only got one of them, so that's just one arm going up and down, and he's like, "Yea, you have passed my test. You have withstood the tribulation of darkness. So, what will you do?"
Give us the golden scarab. We did you a favor.
Yes.
Achaeus, who is this asshole?
This is the guy who lives here. He's Vigreet the bug collector, or pretends to be. He's a lich or not, I don't know.
I think he just killed Vigreet the bug collector. I think this is one of Vigreet's bugs.
If he killed a lich, he's probably dangerous. I think he's just pretending to be a lich so people will leave him alone.
I'm gonna walk up and just yank the cloak or the puppet off of.
You just pull it all off. And as you do that, and there's a moment where he's like looking down because he's like has to hunker down, right? So he's looking down when you do that, and he's like, "Oh, I'm free. I'm free of that evil, that terrible spirit. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you." And even though you're not a sir, he throws his body at your feet, Bronca, and he says, "Oh, you have banished the darkness. You have relinquished me from my curse. This is, oh, joyous day, joyous day."
So this guy is either a good liar or not, but I'm entertained. So
you don't
what
have...
What is your name?
I have for so long been in the thrall of the Lich Vigreet that I have forgotten who I was before. It will take some time for my memory to return to me, I fear. But I can begin the healing process now, thanks to you. Yes, yes. Mm. So, bugs. Yes, bugs. And he is kind of stumbling around, and he's like,
Hey, don't stumble off, dude.
no,
We want the golden
he's
scarab.
he's in the room because there are shelves and things with like jars of bugs on it, like clay jars and glass jars. And he kind of takes a jar off and he kind of pops it up and he's like, "Oh, no golden scarab in here. Oh, no, not in here. I seem to have lost track of the golden scarab. I'm afraid. I do apologize.
I would like to fling a dagger to like scratch his ear.
I'll let you do that for free." And he's like, I think it's a parlay, right? Because your leverage is you won't kill him, so
Yeah.
or hurt him.
Yep, good call. I might still just because he's annoying. Rolled a 10 and I've got charisma, so 11.
So I haven't looked at this move in 100 years. Let me go look at it real fast. Because I rarely use it.
Oh.
Let's see. Where are the moves?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Oh, here we go.
Leverage is something they need or want. On a hit, they ask you for something, then do it if you make them promise first. On a 17, yeah. So we've
and
got
then
a hit.
in a 10 plus, you don't have to like prove it or anything. He says, "Oh, all right. I can see that you're very, very serious people. It's going to be very difficult sharing a room with you, I have to say. Still very upset about that, and I am going to have a word with management, just so you know. So, all right." And he produces the golden scarab, but he does it in a way that you're not expecting. He reaches down and pulls up a very, very long millipede or centipede, very long. And he cocks his head back and opens his mouth and starts to lower this long millipede down into his mouth, into his throat, and he's gagging himself on it. He's like, until he retches and the golden scarab comes out of his mouth, just and it splats. And there it is. It's a large beetle about the size of, I don't know, like size of a golf ball. And it's golden. What do you do?
Thanks. That is disgusting.
He says, "That's what's disgusted you in all of this."
Cherry on the pie, okay? I pick it up and pocket it.
Yeah,
and
you can put that
walk away.
You can put that in your gear. Golden scarab.
Well, I look around myself and say, hey, I don't know about you, Bowen, but I think there is too much vermin in this place. We should find another room.
Yeah, I agree.
And the man looks a little confused but happy, relieved that you're not actually staying with him. And they fed him a story. They fed Vergreet a story that the inn management, because he hadn't paid his bill, was forcing him to take a roommate. So you can all leave. If you all want to go rest and relax and level up, you may do that if you are in that, because I think some of you probably need to. And then you can go and continue scouring the Golden Onion when you're done, or after you rest for a little while. So, I will give everybody the benefit of make camp. Even though you're not like technically in the wilds, you are on the astral plane. So I think that's close enough. When you settle into rest, consume a ration. You don't need to worry about that. You can get food from the inn. If you're somewhere dangerous, depends on how we're interpreting the word dangerous. Decide the watch order as well. I think you probably should still set a watch. And if you have enough XP, you may level up. I think just one watch is sufficient. Whoever's going to be on watch. Probably whoever does not need hit points recovered. So.
Does everybody needs HP, right?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. Well, looks like I'm on watch then. I'll take not taking HP back. That sounds about right.
Bronco,
I think
you watch.
In the meantime, I want to get like caught up with everybody, so my character can be filled in on what's going on.
Yeah. Probably their versions of the stories will be just as confusing as mine was. So, yeah. So everyone who's not Bronca can get half their max HP back. And Bronca, while they're resting and sleeping, I may have a scene with you. Something may approach, as it were. But you all can level up as well, if you want to take a second to do that. The level up move is right there on the sheet. Basically, you just need to erase 8 hit points and increase your level by 1. And then choose an advanced move from your class. And if you're Bowen, you get a spell as well. You also get to increase the large number of your stat, not the modifier, but the double-digit number. While they're doing that, Bronca.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Everyone's kind of resting in this room. And you're going to see what they saw when they first arrived here. And indeed when you did, but when they first arrived here, they were all like, they just kind of like woke up standing shoulder to shoulder, looking up at this silvered writing above the door of the room they were in that says, don't look behind you. Don't turn around. I think is what it said. And one thing we should probably address what happened to Siobhan. Siobhan turned into a bat and flew away. So who the hell knows where Siobhan is? But everybody else is there. And you're there. And I think you're looking up and you see that silver writing that says, like, don't look behind you, right? And I want you to go ahead and roll the take watch move, please. That's going to determine how this scene goes. Plus wisdom.
That's a 12.
Nice. On a 10 plus, you're able to wake the camp and prepare a response. The camp takes +1 forward. This is not going to go quite like that. I'll let you decide how you want to handle it, but you have controlled the situation anyway. You will I think there are 4 beds in the room. And you are sitting up in one of them, Bronca, and the other 3 are lying in their bed. Right? And you'll notice that there's someone laying beneath Bowen's bed. A figure of some sort. Just laying there. What do you do?
Can I well, no, I think I'm just gonna try to, like, they're not moving or anything. I'm gonna
They're
try
laying
to,
there like coffins
Yeah.
still. Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna try to figure out, I guess, what this figure is or what they're doing or what their intention is. Like, I'm gonna read a person, I guess, but that's not.
It would be like, I mean, it would be like a DR, but I don't think I need a DR because you got a 10 plus on your take watch roll. So I'll give you have control of the situation enough.
Yeah, I want to know their intent
Yeah.
before
So
I
you are-
like, just stab them or something.
You were looking at this person lying beneath Bowen's bed. So it's like Bowen's laying on a bed, and then this person's laying right beneath the bed, underneath Bowen. And maybe you kind of like cock your head a little bit to see like who it is or what they're doing. And this person is completely featureless. They are seemingly naked, milky white, hairless body. No apparent eyes or nose, and maybe just two little tiny holes where ears should be. But a mouth. They turn their head to the side to look at you, and they go, "Shh." What do you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna run over and shout for Bowen to wake up. It says like, Bowen, beneath you, and I'm gonna run out, and I think I'm just gonna like smack my shield against this thing, like try to pin it to the ground, sort of, so that it can't move to do whatever it's trying to do.
As soon as Bowen awakes, the figure disappears.
Ooh.
Bowen, you can be in the scene now.
Yeah. Well, what's going on? What are you talking about? Why do I need to wake up?
I don't understand what this place is just yet, but there's something following you. Do you know this? It was here under your bed while you slept, and as soon as you awoke, it disappeared.
It's fine, I think, as long as I don't look behind me.
What?
Do you look underneath the bed?
Yeah, I look underneath the bed to make sure,
So you're on the bed, you sit up, Bronca says what she says, and then you just turn and look underneath.
Yeah.
Bowen blinks away. We'll come back to that. You can wake up everybody else too.
I'm just gonna bang on my shield with my sword, like, hey! Bowen's gone.
Chaos, Lomond, you can wake up and everything will be explained to you, I'm sure.
Maybe he just turned invisible.
What? Can I have a coffee?
I think we're still in the inn, so I think you actually can probably get a coffee.
Cool. I have a coffee too.
There's someone
eggs.
knocking on the door. Hello, is everything okay in there? Sounds like there's a commotion.
I'm like real
Yes,
jumpy or something. Like,
breakfast.
Are you the person with the coffee?
I can be. I certainly can be.
Sure. Cool.
I'll be back in just one moment.
Eggs.
You don't know if they heard that or not.
Bowen's disappeared. He's gone.
Hmm.
He's probably just out talking to those other nerds.
I saw him vanish in front of my own eyes. There was something under his bed, and now he's gone.
We see him vanish all the time. He does that trick.
Mhm.
Nope. See, the bed's not indented, and I just like stab the bed a little bit. Not there.
All right. Just
Okay.
what
Maybe
do you
he
want it?
turned into a ghost?
Oh yeah, that's
Maybe he turned into a what?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's dead. Maybe he can do that.
What do you mean he's dead? He's not
I
dead.
think-
He just disappeared.
I think he's a lich or something.
I would know. I can. He's not evil. He's not a lich. He's as much of a lich as whatever that guy was back there.
Well, I have no idea. I think he's dead. He doesn't breathe. He doesn't eat. I don't know.
I like stick my sword in the ground and look at Lomond. Lomond, we have to find Bowen.
all right. So, what do you want to do? Like, how? If he just vanished, maybe he left the astral plane. Maybe his stuff wore off. Like, what do you think it is?
I guess that might be possible. Can we just go back? Is that how this works?
You can just go back. Yes. I'm going to cut
Well-
quickly.
Are we gonna? Okay.
Bowen, you find yourself standing in a dark hallway lined on either side, partially illuminated, dimly illuminated, but lined on either side with baby, like little, I guess it would be like little babies in, I don't know what the medieval version of it would be, but like little, little beds, right? Like little beds, like kind of sitting up high. You hear the mewling of babies. And at the end of the hallway is this milky white, featureless man. And he kind of is stepping towards you awkwardly, in a gangly kind of way, like his steps, he doesn't have like a proper gait, and his limbs seem like they don't function quite like he wants them to. And he stumbles forward and he says, I have waited so long, so very, very long to have you back. We're going to take a 5-minute break.
Hey, did Noella say something about why she didn't come, or that she didn't come even?
Oh, they weren't RSVP'd, so
Oh, okay, I see.
yeah. I think Noella was not. I think they intended to never be at this one, so for whatever reason.
Okay, I get it. I was a bit worried.
Yeah. All right. Right, waiting on JD. Get JD and then we'll get going.
That's why I got into this session in the first place.
Oh, right. Yeah, the actual official RSVP. Yeah.
And just to reconfirm, I'll have to run away at the next hour. So,
Yeah, we'll be done by then. So
yeah, cool.
all right. That was our original end time, so we're sticking to that. Yeah, so Bowen, this person like directs your attention to an empty crib. That's what the word I was looking for. An empty crib. And he turns to you, even though he has no eyes, just a mouth. He turns to you and says, "So, won't you come again? Come lay down."
No.
It's time for you to take a nap. You've been going so long and so strong. It's time to lay your head down, friend.
I've met many children who actually deserve a nap, much more than me.
Well, and he lurches, takes a few more steps forward. Now he's about 20 or 30, not quite, about 20 paces away. And he says, "Hey, I thought you might never return. And once you did, I thought you might not want to stay. That hurts my heart."
Well, it's not that I don't want to stay, but I think there are other people who should stay instead of me.
Really? Who?
I mean, there. I have several friends who would love to stay here, and a paladin specifically.
You turn away briefly and then look back, and he's closer. Now he's about 10 paces away. And he smiles, a big grin. It says, "I know of the one you speak of. Yes, I know them. Let me stay with you. Let me stay with you. And you can help me. We can help each other."
As long as, I'm not going to die, right?
Is that a trick question?
Well, you always get me on these trick questions. No.
And now he's just a mere arm length away. And he reaches out his pale, flabby limbs, his hands wide open, and places his fingers, cold and clammy, on your cheeks and says, "Roll parlay. You made an offer."
I was going to ask what you add to that, but I rolled double ones.
It's a charisma roll. And Bronca blinks back on the bed. Everything seems to be okay, as best the rest of you can tell. Bowen blinks back. Bowen blinks back. Everybody else, he seems okay. And Bowen, over your shoulder, you hear a whisper. I'm so glad I found you again. I'm so glad we're going to be together. Forever. Look closely. Look closely at the one of which you speak. Carefully. You don't want to give it away. You don't want to give away the game. What do you do?
I think I glance around at people, and probably glance at Bronca.
Do you linger on Bronca?
For a little bit. Probably longer than I should.
The voice says, yes. Oh, yes. I see it. I see it. It is very, very clear to me. Your taste is impeccable. Absolutely impeccable.
And I think when I hear that, like I kind of reach behind me, like almost like I'm scratching my back, but like I do it way too much.
And you feel cold, clammy fingertips stroke the back of yours. And then there's just silence. I'm taking hold on you. I'll spend it to ask you to do things that are this creature's bidding. And you get an XP if you do it. So, yeah, so pick up that scene. Sorry, everybody.
Well, I think if Bowen's like lingering on me, I'd be like, Bowen, are you okay?
Yeah, I just, this place is weird. Like, you're new to this place. I mean, this place is weird. There's some weird stuff going on here.
I spent some time wandering before I found you all, and yes, it is weird.
Yeah, so what are we going to do about this whole situation? Like, I don't think we're trapped here, but, we need to get out. But also this place is weird. This place is very weird.
I'm not done yet. And where are my eggs?
Coffee comes. Coffee comes eventually. And it's that same elven lass. Her brown hair and her blue shift. And she says, oh, well, I'd say good morning, but we don't really have a concept of morning and night around here. So instead, I just say good wakening. That's what I've taken to saying. I find that when you're in the Golden Onion, you never feel more awake, do you?
I'm hoping this coffee helps. Thanks.
Yeah. Say, Miss, if I want to talk to the proprietor, how would I go about that?
Well, he's very upset right now. He's very upset at you all specifically because of what you did to Vigreet before. Word has reached him, and Vigreet is while it's true that Vigreet is not the best about paying her bill, she's nevertheless a longtime resident, and, well, feathers have been ruffled, let's just say.
Well, maybe if I talk to the proprietor, I could start to unruffle these feathers.
I could certainly take you to the proprietor, but that is the innkeep, we call him.
Okay.
is, well, let's just say, not the most agreeable person.
Great. Neither am I.
Okay. Well, why don't you finish your coffee and then, come find me. And then she turns and leaves.
Well, that went well, I guess. Hey, Branka, your religion worships mountains, right?
We worship the mountain Erun.
Yeah, but you know stuff about mountains, don't you?
We do, yes.
Because, well, there are these dwarves and they have this mountain in this inn here, and it's called the Stone of the Ancestor. I wonder if you know anything about that. No. You know?
I would have to examine it. Every mountain is different, every form and crevice.
Oh, that's difficult. Dwarves are rather shy about their mountain, showing off their mountain.
You say that you have you met these dwarves?
I was in their hall. I have met their guard. I've heard that if you put some of your blood on the mountaintop, then it shows you your ancestors, something like that. I'm a bit curious about that. Might want to know stuff about that. No?
This seems like it is worth investigating. I wonder if you can see the ancestors of the mountain itself deep in its roots.
Never thought about that. You'd have to have the blood of the mountain. Oh, if legends are true.
You didn't? Did you see your own ancestors there?
I didn't. No, I didn't get to it. These dwarves, they want something from me before I can go there and interact with this mountain.
What do they want from you?
The mythical eggnog of the grim-toothed dwarves, which the proprietor has and isn't willing to give to them. That's why I wanted to see him, actually. But I was wondering if it was worth all the hassle, and I thought you are an expert on mountains, kind of more than anybody else, right? That I know. And I could maybe just ask you.
Let us go and get this nog from the proprietor, from the innkeep.
Cool.
It seems that if they keep this sort of bizarre place and they let ones like that weird pretender stay here, then this is not a good place and they are not a good person anyway. Let us learn the truth and release this mountain from whatever this realm is.
Okay. Cool. Let's do that.
Lamont and Bowen, what will you be doing for the day?
Oh, hey, Bowen. You want to come meet this guy with me? He's got plenty to love.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. I didn't think it would be that easy to convince you.
Well, yeah. I'm always looking for adventure.
All right. Now, I trust you, mate. I trust you. You are wily kind. I think if you hadn't have taken up all those books and that boring stuff, you could be a thief like the best of us.
Oh, I don't know about that. I could never steal from the likes that you've stolen from.
Oh, well, that's just a matter of course. But so there is something else I'm more interested in. You know, this golden scarab that we just collected. There's more to that. This handsome fellow in the bath house that we're going to go meet. He has something that could belong to my family. So it's a matter of honor. I hold my family very dear to my heart, and I wouldn't like such a treasure to be kept by one so dubious.
So you don't just want to go out to drink. You want me to help you with something? What is your plan?
Well, see, I was hoping you'd have some ideas. We got the scarab. That's what, old Loveums wants. And he's going to tell us where this family heirloom of mine is, and we just need to get it no matter what is all. It's fine.
Well, that sounds fine to me. I can just cast invisibility on myself and walk in. They won't see me. See, being a wizard is so amazing because you can just turn yourself invisible and steal a thing and then go out, and they don't even see you coming. They don't even
So
see
you
going.
are a thief.
I have thieved things before.
Yeah, I knew I liked you.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right. Well, that's a really good plan. I'll go in, do all the talking, and while I'm waving my hands about, you follow the clues to get the rapier.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan to me.
Thank you. I finally got my eggs.
All right. Let's pick up with Branka and Achaeus. So you find this elven woman who works the inn, and she turns to you when she sees you, and she's a little nervous, and she says, "Are you sure you want to go speak to the innkeep? And they're not the kind of person to really happily welcome visitors. He's very busy, very busy."
Wait, they're an innkeep and they don't want visitors.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? All right. And she's like, "I'll take you."
Cool.
Hey Jason, I want to set up my quest. I think since I think we have a clear goal, at least for now, is I want to discover the truth of this ancestral mountain. What did you call it? It was the
Stone of Ancestry. I think that's
Stone of Ancestry. Yeah, I want to discover the truth of the Stone of Ancestry. So I think my boons will be senses that pierce lies.
Okay.
And a voice that transcends language.
Good.
Very nice. Cool.
She takes you through the layers, cutting occasionally to the left and to the right. You can tell you're getting deeper and deeper into the inn. As you get deeper and deeper into the inn, it starts to look less and less like an inn. The wooden walls and tapestries give way, at least partially, to strange, smooth black rock. Lanterns give way to torches stuck in sconces. Wooden stairs give way to roughly hewn stone ramps. And it feels like you've been walking for a while. And eventually, you stop. And ahead of you, 30 or 40 paces ahead of you, there is a dark cave mouth. at the end of a sort of tunnel. You cannot see inside the cave mouth. You don't know what's on the other side. It's inky black. And she says, "That's where the innkeep lives."
Well, let's, would they mind if we take a torch? Because I'm not very good at seeing in the dark. Well, I can't really.
I certainly, yes, certainly.
Cool.
There's a torch on the wall. I have to get back to my duties.
Sure, thanks. I will. If I have coins, I think I will throw her a coin. I have one.
She smiles, takes it. Best of luck.
Thank you.
And
Maybe
she
see
leaves
you. She's cute.
What do you both do?
Well, then, go ahead.
After you, Akias.
Yeah, okay. So I'll step into the cave. Like, yay, now I'm got to talk. I'm not good at talking.
As you step into the cave, the light begins to fall away. You have your torchlight, but you can tell it's not illuminating the entire space. You can only see a few feet in front of you. The darkness of this space seems to be almost like suppressing or dampening the light until all you can see is just the nose of your companion and your hands in front of you. I'm going to cut away.
Cool. Very cool.
So, Lomond and Bowen, you managed to find your way back to the bath, this tiled, warm, moist space, and this large bath inset in the floor, huge, and its occupant, a massively obese man who is so wide, he's probably 7 or 8 feet wide, with just little tiny arms, or they look tiny compared to his body, and an egg-smooth head. And he has several boy whores and girl whores crawling all over the bulk of his corpus, feeding him grapes, cajoling him, complimenting him. And you're invisible, correct?
Yep.
Since you could have prepared that beforehand, I'm not going to make you roll, but you are invisible. And Lomond, so he just sees you, and he says, "Ah, there is my greedy, greedy, greedy chops. Come in, come in."
Oh, you do flatter me, sir. Sorry, I didn't catch your name last time.
It's entirely unimportant, friend. I like to maintain a strictly transactional relationship. You know where to find me. I know where to find you. That's all that matters at the end of it.
Okay, I will take your word for it. Now, last time we were conversing, what was it we were having a nice chat about? Family heirlooms, I do believe.
I vaguely remember some talk like this. I certainly remember talk of the Golden Scarab. Did you acquire it?
Oh, that thing. Oh, yes. That was incredibly, frightfully dangerous. I alone managed to secure the precious item, nearly dying. It's taken me this long to return to you because I've been in healing. I've just recovered my strength enough to take the arduous journey.
You do look quite winded and tired, friend.
I am still recovering.
Why don't you strip off and join me in the water? It is most soothing.
Oh, business first, pleasure second.
Ah, there's no pleasure about it. It is a simple repast. It is an opportunity to let your muscles relax.
Oh, to be in a relaxed company with you, kind sir, would definitely be pleasurable to me.
Oh, my. Well, come around then if you're not going to get in. Show me the beetle.
I am versed in negotiations. Like, to be honest, kind friend, I have not been into many myself, but I do believe it is common practice for both parties to present the trading goods at the same time.
And what did I promise you again? You'll have to jog my memory. I do have many things swimming around in the old noggin. I get confused sometimes.
Oh, it's not confusion for one such as great as you. It is putting minor items to the back of one's brain. But you might recall a delicately designed rapier with a tip as fine as a saber-tooth's point.
In the meantime, while this is going on, Bowen, what are you doing?
I think I want to get behind something to kind of hide from sight, and I'm going to break my invisibility, and then cast prestidigitation and make the golden scarab sort of just appear, like, out of nowhere.
Okay, I'm into that. And with what's your aim here? What are you trying to accomplish?
My aim is to get this very obese guy to go off of something that, basically go off the fake thing and give back the rapier, and then we make way like bandits. Like maybe I'm a wizard bandit.
Interesting. So you have both the beetle and the rapier at the end of it.
Yeah. Because if this guy wants to buy the beetle, surely there's other people who want to buy the beetle. And I bet you they pay more.
I knew I got you involved for some reason.
You can cast your spell.
That is a 12.
Nice. Describe what it looks like.
So I think invisibly, I go behind, I duck down behind something, which is stupid because I'm invisible. But eventually I sort of work my magics and I'm just around the corner casting these spells, and the golden scarab appears. And I think he's very happy with that.
Yeah, it does appear. And is it like floating in front of him, or is it how is it situated?
I think it is floating in front of him. I think actually there's some amount of preparation where it's I have this golden scarab right here. Or no, it's actually it's this pocket, and then it just appears. And it's oh, there it is.
While this is going on, you hear over your shoulder, "Oh, he is one who has escaped me many times. What a perfect opportunity we have before us. Take the knife. And you just feel a knife being placed in your hand from behind.
Oh no.
You'll have to put some muscle into it. There's a lot of padding there. You get an XP for cutting his throat.
Oh, jeez.
Think about it. We'll go back. As I mentioned, it's very, very dark in this space that you're in. And you can barely see just a few inches in front of you, even with your torchlight. As you step inside, just to echo the other scene slightly, you can tell that you are stepping inside a pool of water. Except it's not warm. It's quite cold. And so it's just darkness and wetness. How deep do you go?
Not deep. And when I realize that we are standing in water, I think I will stop and kind of plant my feet like I'm going into battle. And then I'll shout or say, not shout, I'm just say, good time of the day, sir. Innkeep, I would like to speak to you.
You hear a sloshing and a splashing a little bit ahead of you. Bronco, what do you do?
Bronco wants to kind of like rush ahead, but since Akias is staying back, I think she'll just post up right by Akias. And I don't have my sword drawn, but I've got my shield at the ready.
There's a splashing and a sloshing. And you both feel something touching your legs.
I'm not going to attack it.
It is...
Yet.
What's touching your legs is thick, prehensile.
Yeah.
Wrapping around your leg, wrapping around your waist. Not violently, just as if to sort of, it feels almost reassuring. Like maybe it's trying to figure out what you are. It's maybe a little bit like a blind person touching your face, right? It wants to get a sense of you. And you feel these tentacles, one on each of you, gently going around your torso, eventually caressing your cheek. And you hear a voice in the darkness that says, "Have you come to register a complaint?"
Not really, no. I've come to make some sort of deal. Because you have something that I would like to have. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm
What
looking.
is it?
I would like to have the ancestral dwarven knock of the
Grimroots
dwarfs.
I thought that might be it.
Yeah.
They have been hectoring me for quite a long while. But
I'm sorry, you're cutting out.
I'm afraid
at least for me. I can't hear you.
Did you hear me?
No, yeah, no, I heard you.
No, I don't
ask.
think any of us heard that last.
He says,
Yeah.
they have been hectoring me for some time about that. I'm afraid I can't give it to them, nor can I give it to you.
Why
is
not?
that?
Because obtaining that casket of Nog is the only thing that keeps them going. If it was given to them, they would stop, and their line would be dead. They would give up. They would have nothing else to live for.
What do you gain by denying them their destiny?
They always pay their bill on time.
Isn't there something you'd rather have?
I cannot stop you from going into the cellars and getting it yourself.
Well, that's promising, I guess, but I thought politely asking for permission wouldn't be the worst idea.
But that's no fun. Go to the cellars.
Oh, okay.
What dwells in the cellars that you smile at such an idea?
Wine. My menagerie.
It's probably dangerous, your menagerie. Do you mind if it gets hurt?
Fabulously dangerous. Fabulously.
That sounds amusing. Do you mind if it gets hurt? I mean, can I hit it?
Oh, you should do whatever nature requires of you, friend.
Okay. I'm looking at Branka like, what do you think?
Branka's gonna just shrug.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, we'll do our best to entertain you. Nice meeting you.
The tentacles slither away, back down into the surface of the water. And you can slosh back to the entrance if you wish.
Yeah, sounds like we do.
Yeah.
Akias, perhaps we should see how our other members are doing before we descend into the cellars.
I've got another. Before we descend into the cellars, maybe we can find a forge or something, because you remember this axe, this lightning axe we found?
Indeed.
I might do something with it to put that power into my spear.
Is it okay to use one of the hole that you gave me earlier, Jason, to like know where there'd be a forge?
Absolutely. Yep.
Cool. I think I can then. Akias, I found a forge on my wanderings. I can
Branka,
take you there.
You're the best. Always said that, but now I mean it. Oh God, that came out wrong. Sorry.
Let's just
Never
have a
mind,
quick
friend.
A quick brief scene with the other group, and then we'll call it a session. So what was the decision? Are you going to cut this man's throat?
Yeah, I am definitely murdering that guy.
Nice. Give me I want to defy danger on this. Give me a defy danger dexterity.
That is a 9.
9. Good. You do.
Can I assist to
Oh, you
bump
may
it up?
assist, of course. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, as you know, Bowen leaps into action, I reassess what he's doing, and
you see the knife, right?
yeah.
Like,
The knife. I'm like, okay, this is a different sort of game. Pull out my rapier and like lunge towards Jabba there as well.
Yeah. Give me a aid with dexterity since we don't do bonds.
Also, I just love this idea of Lomond helping Bowen just murder a guy, just really just straight to the throat.
Yeah. 8.
That's enough to bump you up to a 10. I'm going to take the fiction since I kind of know what this guy is more. You go up. I assume it's real quick. You just like slash, just like right behind, right? Just a clean cut.
I think there's multiple slashes there. Like we want to make sure, like,
Oh, yeah.
he died.
And Lomond goes for it. I mean, it's just like stab, blood spurting everywhere. As you're killing him, the nubile whores on his body scream in pain as well. In his death throes, he rises up. As he rises up out of the water, you see that the boy whores and the girl whores are actually fused to him. They don't have lower halves. They're part of his body. As he rises up more at his death throes, you realize that the bottom half of him is like a large octopus, and it's enormous. And he's thrashing about, flailing about, and blood going everywhere like a fountain. And eventually there's just a heavy in the water. And you see all of them floating face down. Let's go to the end of session. Questions.
You want me to read them?
Yeah, I got them. Let's see here. Did anyone manage to do a flag? I know it was a short session, but if anyone did, by all means, call them out.
Yeah, I was hitting into getting Bowen to come on a crazy scheme with me.
Good. I like that. That's one of Bowen's flags.
I tried to hit Brankas, asked me about a natural thing, and
sorry, I turned it into a quest.
That's okay.
Fair enough. Good. Any others?
Akias, I should have rescued you from a social situation, but I guess I didn't.
Let's go to alignments.
You kind of did with the proprietor when you started talking to it. So.
Oh, the innkeep. Okay, so let's see. Alignments, Lomond, evil. Shift danger or blame from yourself to someone else.
I really wanted to, but I didn't find a good opportunity.
Yeah. Branka, endanger yourself to protect someone weaker than you. Yes, you definitely did that. Mark an XP. Bowen, discover something about a magical mystery. Yeah-ish. The man in the bath is a mystery that is discovered. Achaeus, defeat a worthy opponent. Yes, the spider. Mark an XP. And then the group questions. Did we learn something new and important about the world? Yeah, you learned that the Innkeep is a Cthulhuid nightmare in the center of somewhere near the center of the Innkeep. You found a couple of Cthulhuid nightmares, several during the course of the game. So everyone gets an XP there. Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy? Yes, the spider. Everyone gets an XP there. Did we loot a memorable treasure? Yeah, the beetle. Everyone gets an XP there.
Do we get like 2 XP for killing Jabba as well?
Oh, no, you only ever get one from each of those. So, like, as long as you did a worthy opponent. Okay, cool. So that was a short session, but I hope you all enjoyed it. It was a very like action-packed, quick, compact session. But I think we are pretty well positioned for next time. In the interest of time, I'm not going to do stars and wishes, but I will say that where I see things going is basically we have everything is kind of pointing toward the cellar. Everything pushes towards the cellar. Like I said last time, the adventurer wants you to constantly be going to the cellar, and so that is a thing. There might be some. I have a feeling. I think Vigreet is going to approach Siobhan out of a sense of vengeance and press into Siobhan's hand the mosquito that will ravage the world and stuff. So that's what I think is going to happen. But who knows? We'll see. Anybody have any questions before we go?
No questions, but I love this.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
Totally.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I was just agreeing.
Oh, awesome. Well, I'm glad you had a good time. I'm going to run, but it was nice seeing everyone, and I'll see you next week.